Welcome to an episode of Founder in the Chair. I'm your host, Veena, and today my guest is a woman who has truly mastered the art of going against the grain and designing life on her own terms. As the founder of a transformational coaching brand, she empowers clients to reimagine their future. With over 20 years of experience and qualified at master coach level, she has worked with a diverse portfolio of clients nationally and internationally, from professionals and business owners to high net worth individuals. Her journey has seen her lead and build highly engaged, high-performing teams before creating a sister brand dedicated to leadership. She is multi-award winning, a published author, the founder of a faith-based charity and co-founder of a women's founders mastermind and network here in Buckinghamshire. And true to her nature, she's already in the process of designing her next move. Unconventional, fearless, and never superficial, she embodies what it means to carve out your own path. So I'm super excited to welcome Neelam Challoner. Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So Neelam, where does your coach story begin? What led you to becoming a coach?
Oh, where do I begin? So apart from winning the egg race, let's start my story when I was 15 and I found myself in a car being driven to East London to meet a guy to get married. 15, I was going through my GCSEs. And fortunately, I said no and my mum was okay with that. So my mum, having had 5 daughters, me the eldest, she was on a mission to get me married.
Yeah.
After that, there were 2 further attempts, a guy from India and a guy from Singapore. So that's really where I noticed that I really looked within me. This is not what I wanted for my life. Around the same age, one of my uncles gave me some books to read, and it was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and The Magic of Thinking Big. And as you know, I was an avid reader like you. We used to read a lot of books, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that set me off on a whole new journey of self-development, personal development. I used to read books on wealth, mindset, leadership, sales, all sorts of books. And I knew from there that I could design my life. I could be in control of how I choose to make decisions and what I do with my life. So I ended up using a lot of that knowledge. Well, they say knowledge is only powerful when you use it. And I ended up using that in every area of my life, including my work. So I was finding that I was getting promoted, being recommended or headhunted for different roles. So that's really kind of my initial journey. But in 2000 and kind of around end of 2002 to 2003, I was attending a weekend church retreat, and it was themed Live the Dream. And our host, Bishop Wayne Malcolm, on the last day of the retreat, he was describing a coach and what a coach does. So he's describing coaching. And I remember sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, he's just described me to the T. And I remember my heart racing, and it was quite a defining moment for me, because I never knew what my leadership style was, but I was really into seeing transformation. I had a natural flair for motivating others and unlocking potential in anyone that I was leading or managing. So that was the day that I signed up to do a coaching diploma. And then 2004, I left my job.
What did you used to do?
So that role, I was head of department, and I was managing a team of 23 staff. And
in which industry?
That was at the Boots Wellbeing Centre. It was a pilot project where Boots opened up a private members club in Greenford. West London, for those not in the area. And so I was head of all the front of house, the back office. They had lots of targets, and they were underperforming when I first came. And by the time I left, they were a thriving team. So anyway, it was quite hard to leave, actually, because when you've put all your heart and soul into the work, you've turned things around. But I knew that coaching is what I wanted to do, and human potential was something that I was massively interested in. So I signed up to do a course, and then I think it was around June of 2004. I made the decision that I'm going to leave my job and set up the business. So at the age of 30, I set up Designer Life Coaching, and it's been the best thing that I've ever done. And I guess really just, I think I've always known that really helping others to move forward, to unlock their own dreams and visions, has been in my DNA, really. It comes naturally. Sometimes I have to stop myself. So when I'm talking to friends, it's like, don't have your coach hat on.
Yeah, don't tell us what to do. We're on a night out.
and sometimes I just can't help it. And I remember there was one time my sister, she's now married to this guy, my brother-in-law. But when they were seeing each other, he and I were having a conversation, and he said to my sister, "Is your sister always like this?" She said, "Yeah, we're so lucky to have her," which is so nice. So that's kind of really where my journey began and how I got into coaching. And there's so much more I could tell you, to be honest, but that's kind of it in a nutshell.
So, when you left at the age of 30 and you're leaving a secure job, you're going to get your paycheck at the end of the month, and you're just going to leave. So a lot of founders who sometimes it's still a side hustle, their business, because they're too scared to leave. If someone's listening now and they're in that position, what tip would you give them? What would you, as a coach, what can they think about? Maybe just a tip as a coach, what would you say?
I would say perfect your craft. So when I started out in coaching, one of the things I had to do is I didn't know nothing about running a business. So I kind of jumped in, deep end, whatever. And then I had to learn along the way. But whilst I had to learn how to do marketing, how to get myself out there and be more visible, I had to also perfect my craft as a coach. Really, if you're going to do something, do it well. I've had quite a few people contact me and say, I've chosen you to coach. Like once we've done initial inquiry and we go through a consultation, I will ask them, why did you choose me? And if somebody didn't go ahead with me, I will always ask why. And I think credibility is really important. People aren't coming to me because they want a coach. People are coming to me because they want a result. And I think that that's so important. It's to keep that at the heart of whatever it is you're doing, whether you're a service-based business or a product-based business, be really good at what you do. And the second thing is believe in yourself. You have to have that absolute belief. When I was growing up, I had this unwavering, strong sense of self. And I think you know that about me, don't you? And I was brilliant at leadership. And I think that may have come because I was the eldest of 6. So I was just thrown into that. Strong belief. And if you can't do it, there's always someone who's willing to help. So ask. I couldn't do where I am now. I couldn't do it by myself. I needed help along the way, and don't be afraid to ask for it.
So what you're saying is before you actually leave is perfect your craft, or do it along the way, or faith in yourself.
I would say before you actually go out and leave your job, have some savings.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be good.
Have some savings so that it can see you through. The last thing you want to do is worry about money when you're trying to build a business. So have some savings to keep you afloat. And then plan. Have a vision, a clear vision of your business. And then follow that through. Implement that stage by stage, step by step. So those are the two things I do, is have some savings and have a written plan that you can implement.
Thank you. So tell us some of your earliest experiences of going against the grain. As I said in your intro, you're someone who went against the grain.
So obviously I've told you about 3 potential marriage attempts. It was so easy at some point to just say, okay, I'll go with it. But obviously I didn't. My dad wasn't actually involved in some of these decisions that my mum had pushed through. But I suppose one of the biggest ones for me was actually, I grew up a devout Hindu. And although my parents were Hindu by title and they did follow a lot of the traditions, I was the one that I was actually devout. I was seeking God from a really young age. And actually, it was in my late teens, like 18, 19, when I was coming into adulthood, that I had a massive encounter with God. And I couldn't deny that this is what I'd been seeking all my life. And unfortunately, at the time, it wasn't in my Hindu religion. Actually, it was in the Bible. And so going from being Hindu to then becoming a born-again Christian or Bible believer, that was a big thing in the wider family, in your circle. So yeah, that took some courage and some bravery, particularly in the early years. But I think, your family, everyone kind of accepts this is who you are. So that was probably one of the biggest ones. And then another time was when I was in one of my jobs, and I remember, this is back in the day when you'd look in the newspaper for a job.
Showing your age now.
I know. And there was an advert by First Choice Holidays for a holiday rep.
Yes, I remember.
And I was like, I've got to apply for this. So back then you had to make a phone call, and they would then send you an application pack. And I remember receiving it. It was this colourful booklet. The application form was this colourful booklet, and you had to just obviously answer all the questions. So I did that, and I got through. So I don't know if you know this, but they would receive thousands of applications. So just to even get an interview, it's a big thing. So anyway, I had an interview, and I found myself travelling to Crawley near Gatwick. That's where their offices were at the time. And it was a whole day. So it was there was a group of you, and you had to come up with you had to design a trip, like a day out or something, and then you had to entertain everyone for 3 minutes or something. And then they would split you into two small groups, and then I think at the end they did a one-to-one interview, and you had to sell a pen. Did you ever do that?
It was always a pen, wasn't it?
I know. So yeah, so I did the whole day, and next thing I know, I got an offer letter. Actually, just even talking about it is quite. And then I'm like, what do I do?
How do I tell my mum and
How
dad?
do I tell my mum and dad that I've actually got an offer to go and work? And guess where I was? Ibiza.
What did they say? How did you even break it to them?
Oh my gosh. So
being the eldest of 6 as well.
I know, I was the one who was going to set an example. Anyway, so I remember, so I've always been close with both my parents, but in particular my dad. He kind of got me and I got him. So I remember sitting in the lounge, and I can see, even now just describing it, I can remember the conversation. And I said, Dad, I've been offered a job as a holiday rep. I did not tell him it was a 20s rep.
Okay.
Now it's all out in the open.
Yeah.
So I told him that I've got the offer and this is when I'd be flying out, and, you know, what does he think? Oh my gosh, Veena, my dad said nothing. Like, he literally didn't say nothing. I think he asked me 1 or 2 questions, and that was it. Straight-faced. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do.
Am I allowed to go? Do I go? Do I not go?
Yeah. And
how old were you then?
so at that point, I was coming up to 20.
Okay.
Yes.
And you haven't.
I was 20 actually.
And you weren't married yet.
No, I wasn't married.
Succeeded.
I wasn't married. I just passed my driving test the year before. And anyway, so then, I don't know, about a week later or something, he comes into my room to pick up the hairdryer. And he said to me, when are you flying out? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm such a jammy cow. He's letting me go. That was such a big thing. And I will never, ever forget that my dad let me go. Because even though obviously born in the UK, Indian heritage, I feel like I was made in Ibiza. So that was in the 90s. And so I went off to Ibiza, did 2 seasons there. And then then I got headhunted to work in Holmes Place in Ealing. It's a gym. And then I became recommended to work in another place. So I was thinking, okay, I'm going to stay in the UK. And then I remember one day I was telling my friend that if they offer me Turkey, I'll go. And I did. I got the offer to go and work in Turkey. So I did that for two years. And came back and I was like, no, that's it. I need to start thinking about meeting someone and getting married. And I ended up going to New York as well.
For work?
Yes. Do you remember when we went to a wedding?
In New York?
Yes. You came out there.
Oh, yes.
Can you? Oh, do you know?
That was such a long time ago.
Yeah, that was so long ago. So I ended up working in Manhattan. So do you know what? At that time, I left a job. So I was working in LA Fitness in Isleworth. And I had been called to come in and turn the front of house team around. And by the time I left, the team were thriving, highly engaged, highly motivated. They had beat their target by 200%. And I'm thinking, now I've got an opportunity in New York. Do I go or do I not go? And the regional manager actually said to me, he said, Neelam, one day when you're older, do you want to look back and say to your grandchildren or to anyone that you did it or that you didn't? And I was like, that was it. That did it for me. It's like, no, I don't want to live with any regret. And I never, ever wanted to live an average life. You know, I wanted to do all that I could possibly do. So yeah, I did do New York. And so that was being a holiday rep and working abroad in the 90s for an Asian girl is so, it just really wasn't the done thing.
Deal. In the 90s, there was me having babies.
Yeah.
And, Neelam's abroad. Fair.
So whilst I, like you, having an arranged marriage or, having babies, my other counterparts.
I think that East London guy, I think I was shown him as well.
Was you?
I think so.
Oh my God.
Was he from Canada?
I can't remember now.
Well, the one I was taken to go and see, he was from Canada, but I said no as well.
He said yes to me, apparently.
Well, I rejected him. You said yes. No, he said yes. Sorry.
Yeah, he said yes. So,
Good job you didn't marry him. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been the love of your life.
I know. So being a holiday rep, working abroad was definitely going against the grain, and Do you know what? Sometimes I think my dad let me go because so my dad loved traveling across the UK, especially when they came over to England from East Africa. And I think there was a part of him that had that adventure in him, but he never fulfilled it. So I'm kind of glad I am absolutely thrilled he let me go. So whilst my counterparts are going university or building a corporate career, I end up having this unconventional, colourful career that I'm building. So when I did return, I ended up going into the corporate world, and that's where I met my now husband, which is, to me, my little love story, my little fairy tale. And so I ended up marrying an English guy, which was another thing that, whilst there were wider relatives that may have married, outside of, being Indian, I think I was one of the first in
You
our...
were.
Was I the first?
You were.
I think I was.
It's like, oh, right, first she's a holiday rep, and now she's marrying a white guy. Oh, my God.
But what was really interesting, and I think this is where my dad was really significant again, is that when Gary and I got together, I didn't want to, how you don't tell your family everything, where you're going, who you're going with. I didn't want to lie to my dad and my mum. So I did tell my dad. This is after a few months when I knew that this is kind of going somewhere. And he said to me, I think he's the one for you. And actually, that was probably around February of that year, 2001. November 2000, my mum had wanted me to see the guy from Singapore. And it was his mum that came to me and said, it's not his decision, it's my decision. And I was like, I can't have a mother-in-law like that.
Oh, my God. That sounds so Bollywood.
I know. So anyway, I think those are really big ones for me, where going against the grain. And I think in everything that I've done, even in business, if the world is saying do this, I don't know, I just end up going the opposite direction.
That's good. It's good. That's you going against the grain then.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is that doing that, it has always helped me to then pivot and design my life. So I've designed my life at different stages. Every decade, I think everyone should design or reinvent themselves. And I know you've done a lot of that over the years, which has been absolutely superb to see. So, yeah.
I love that. So let's unveil Designer Life. What's your philosophy? And tell us about what you really do and the changes you have seen, obviously without breaking confidentiality.
So Wayne Malcolm, the bishop who was running the retreat, he had a saying, a quote that was, live by design and not by default. And it deeply resonated with me when I was doing my coaching diploma. And having read all the books and was still reading and growing, I decided that my brand needed to be something that I truly believed in, that I also would live myself. So Designer Life really is about empowering people, empowering my clients, my private clients, to live a life on their terms, to design their happiness. Now, does it mean that we're in control of everything? No, but there's a huge part we are in control of. And if we can plan for it, and if we can dream it, then why not, make it happen? You're not here just by chance. You're here because you've put some work into it. You put thought into it. You put planning into it. You've probably had many conversations, powerful conversations and inspiring conversations to bring this to life. So that's really what Designer Life is about. It's really about empowering my clients to live a life on their terms, to bring whatever's locked in there, or those ideas or that vision or that dream, and bring it to life. I was once told by a client of mine, she said, you're like the midwife of dreams. And And it was only afterwards I was, yeah, I was like, when somebody said something, but you don't get a chance to process it there and then because you're in a conversation. It was only afterwards I was like, oh my gosh. And the thing is, I think my family thought I was going to be more in the spotlight, more visible. Maybe even you thought I'd probably be more out there. But actually, I'm actually quite shy as a person. And so when a woman is giving birth, the glory is all on the woman and the baby. It's very rarely on the midwife, but the midwife plays a vital role in, the smooth delivery and the support and whatever. So I kind of resonate with that somewhat. So yeah, Designer Life has been going 21 years. I'm super proud of where it's come to. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of lives change, and that's not just one-to-one coaching. Where I've had contracts across London to deliver workshops and things like that. There was one contract that I had where I met Anita.
All right, yeah.
And they were workshops that my company was delivering for that particular prime contractor. And I literally could see people's minds shifting before our eyes. So I feel like I'm honored and privileged to see that and to work with people who allow me to coach them. Because one of the things that we've got to understand with coaching, we're not giving advice, even though sometimes people really, Neelam, what do you think? What do they,
Yeah.
It's just, okay, but what do you think? Let's unlock what's in you. But one of the things that we were trained in early on in coaching is never to ask why and never to give advice. And actually, after 21 years, I have to ask why.
I was just going to say, surely you ask why.
No. In the original, I mean, maybe things have, I mean, I keep up to date with my CPD, but originally you wouldn't ask why. Whereas now, finding people's why is the most powerful thing. So I do that, and I will use metaphors, stories. Obviously, I will give suggestions, and they can take that if they wish to. But most of the time, they like to ask that question. So, sorry, I think I've lost track.
It's fine. No, it's fine. So, the why, once you've asked that question, they're going to get to the answer, right?
Yeah.
With a bit of coaching.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you had the chance, who would you love to coach?
Oh my gosh. So, funnily enough, I was watching on YouTube a couple of weeks ago something about Sadia Khan, the dating coach, and there's lots of things coming out. I'd probably like to coach her, even though she's a coach herself. I've coached, obviously, lots of coaches. Maybe the cast of Dubai Bling.
Okay. Why?
Not because they haven't, fulfilled their dreams. They're obviously very successful.
Yeah.
But it might be something more deeper, something more meaningful.
Interesting.
But I think generally I'd love to coach women to find unlock their message and what their mission is, and help them find their mark in the world. So women who are looking to do something noteworthy, maybe even high net worth individuals who are looking for something more meaningful because they've already built the success. Yeah.
Nice. So Neelam, coaching has exploded over the last few years and everyone seems to be a coach. What are your thoughts on this? Because obviously you've been doing it for 21 years, but now all of a sudden everyone's a coach or a mentor or I can help you. And sometimes I think, is that a little bit dangerous as well? Because if you're not doing it right, you could leave someone in a worse place.
Yeah. That's actually a really good question, because I don't think there's enough conversations about this. As you know, coaching is unregulated. So having said that, there are coaching code of ethics that everyone, if you've qualified as a coach, you should be following. So right now, I think we're probably at about $5 to $6 billion a year, the coaching industry. It's one of the fastest growing sectors. When I first started out in 2004, nobody knew what coaching was. I remember at networking events, somebody might say, "Oh, are you like a lifeguard?" If I said I'm a life coach.
Yeah.
It's like, no, far from it. So I actually got used to telling people, or using the analogy of coaching in the sports world. So with elite athletes. So you have a tennis coach, a golf coach, football coach. They bring out the potential, they motivate you, they help you with your strategies, your techniques, that kind of thing. It's like, oh, I get it. And then so I do that for life and business. Okay. So 2004, and then probably going up to 2010, I found I had to explain a lot about what coaching is. And then in 2010, I recall there was a period of time, there was lots of training companies that were, onboarding lots of individuals to be coach trained. So then there was a rapid growth. And then I think since 2019, 2020, particularly since the pandemic, there's been quite an explosion of coaches. So whilst some people might think, oh, is the market saturated? Everyone's a coach. Actually, we've got 8.3 billion people on the planet. According to the ICF, there is 122,000 or just over coach practitioners worldwide.
Okay.
So there's plenty to go around.
Yeah.
I mean, 6-7 million each. And we wouldn't even be able to cope with that
if everybody wanted to coach.
If everyone wanted to coach. But I do remember early on, there was lots of, I suppose, thought leaders around coaching who would say that one day, like people have a personal trainer, people will have a personal coach. And I've literally seen that. So, yeah, I think there's plenty to go around. People who are saying they're a coach, but they're not qualified. Be more creative. Give yourself a different title. Because what if they don't end up doing a great job?
Gives the other coaches a bad name.
Yeah, and I think that's happened along the way as well. Where I've heard or had conversations where people have kind of questioned, the validity and the power of coaching, whereas coaching is actually because coaching is goal orientated and action orientated, it's measurable. So you can measure it. So while some things, depending on the individual's goals, they might be subjective to them, there is a clear ROI. So I always say to my clients, you will get at least 5 to 7 times more in return as a return on investment. So when I'm working with teams, in a startup, or particularly teams with targets, KPIs, organizations and companies have seen 600% return. So wow. It's really, really powerful. So you just got to get it right. And yeah.
That's so good. So Neelam, I've got a couple of quick fire questions for you. Ready?
Go on then.
What's the nicest thing a client has ever said to you?
Gosh, there's been so many. I've had fan mail, but you're a single answer to a million prayers.
And I like the midwife one.
Yes.
What grinds on you as a coach?
If you call yourself a coach and you're not doing a great job, or you call yourself a coach and you're not qualified.
Yes. Like you said, it's not even regulated, so it's hard. What's your why?
To live a life pleasing to God.
What book or books impacted you the most? And don't say Sweet Valley High.
Jackie Collins, no.
Yeah, I remember that as well.
No, I was, oh gosh, I've got so many books on my bookshelf. But The top three I'd say is The Prosperous Coach by Rich Litvin.
Mm-hmm.
Magic of Thinking Big. No, sorry. Think and Grow Rich
Mm-hmm.
by Napoleon Hill is my second. And the Holy Bible. It's the ultimate personal development book. Covers everything. So those are probably my top three. But honestly, there's so many. Do you remember when I used to have the Personal Growth Book Club?
Oh my God, yes. How old were you then?
That was while I was coaching. So I was over 30. So maybe mid-30s.
Seems like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
And last one, what Disney princess did you want to be growing up?
Cinderella, because after being the eldest of 4 little sisters and my brother, but we're a year apart, I always found myself cleaning, picking up and cleaning. And I guess really it was the ultimate fairy tale, you know. She was humble, graceful, but she was massively resilient. She persevered. So her, but I think later on, Mulan, because she had that warrior and it was all about honor for her. And she was highly disciplined. And the other one would be Jasmine in Aladdin, the adventure, freedom. Freedom is one of my number one values. So yeah.
So 3 Disney princesses.
Yeah, 3. But Cinderella was the original.
The original one.
Yeah.
Because of the 4 little sisters. So if they're listening right now, you made Neelam feel like Cinderella. They're going to be listening and be like, Neelam. Thank you. Do you have anything else you would like to add?
Redesign is a new coaching program that I'm about to launch. It's inspired from hundreds of coaching sessions that I've had over the years. It's a 16-part program for women. It's designed for women, and it's got over 200 questions in there. So you can imagine what a question can do. It's only in the space of a question that you can really unlock what's going on inside. Often we spend so much time planning kind of holidays, dinners out, things like that. Nothing wrong with that. But we very rarely spend enough time thinking about actually who are we and what do we want, and, you know, working on ourselves. And as women, we often put others people first and fail to kind of focus on our own growth. So Redesign is a 16-part program. It's a printed booklet. You can have a look if you like.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay. So we just buy this and work through it?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's 12. I call the modules sessions actually. But it's really powerful for women who want to go through some sort of personal transformation or want to elevate different parts of their life. So for example, there's a session on goal setting. There's a session on building high performing habits. There's a session on building your personal brand or facing your giants. So yeah, it's fully guided. When a person orders it, it will get shipped to their home address, and yeah, they can work through it. What they will also get is some email support just to keep them going. But there's no accountability per se, so it doesn't include one-to-one time with me. It literally is self-coaching.
And how much is this?
So this will retail at $499. Which is a fraction of having one-to-one coaching, less than 10% really. But I recommend that any women going through this program, that they schedule a session every single week or every 2 weeks in their diary, like a meeting.
Meeting with yourself.
Meeting with yourself. Pen. It's all fillable, as you can see.
Yeah.
It's beautifully designed. And there are some really powerful questions in there, questions that might make you cry, questions that might make you laugh, questions that will inspire and ignite that fire in you. So that's the program that I'm bringing out, and I'm really excited about it. It's like I said, it's come from inspired by hundreds of coaching sessions, and it's really 21 years worth of work in there.
Wow.
So to get it at $499 is brilliant. The real transformation is in when an individual applies and implements what they kind of take from there. So it's not a book you read, it's transformation in a book.
I'm just looking at this one, personal mission statement, standards, goals and milestones. So my name is I am a, and so many women will probably define themselves as I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm Cinderella. And I have to look after 4 sisters, because that's how women end up seeing themselves. My mission in life is to keep the house clean, probably, because I want to be remembered for having a clean house. Yeah, love that.
So yeah, it's I'm really excited about bringing it out. So there is a wait list. So you can join, anyone who's interested, they can join the wait list, and when it's ready to come out, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, only those on the wait list will get it at a discount. And
how do we join the wait list?
So Instagram, Designer Life Coaching. In my bio, there's a link to subscribe to the wait list. The wait list is purely information on redesign. You're not going to get spammed on anything else. That's not how I roll. But to celebrate 21 years in business, those on the wait list can get their hands on it at for $299. Yes.
And your website?
My website is designerlife.co.uk. And for those who want to know more about the work that I do with teams, that's houseofleaders.co.uk.
And do you have any events coming up where people can come and meet you, see you in action?
No, I don't. But if I do, I will put that on. I will send that to everyone that's on the wait list, because I am thinking about doing a soft launch for redesign. Nice. Where they can meet me, they can ask questions, they can look through it. So I'm really excited about that. It's really helping women live by design and not by default.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You. Love that.
So can I ask you some questions?
Me?
Yeah.
Go on then.
I've got some prepared. Similar. So.
Do I need to be nervous?
No. You look super busy. You're always on Instagram, always on my feed. How do you do what you do?
So everyone thinks I always look super busy. That's like, sometimes people don't approach me, like friends and family, they just won't message me because they're like, oh, but Veena's really busy. She won't have time. Whereas the people who know me, you need me, I'm there. Like, that's true. I will drop everything and I'll be there. But I am not actually always busy. So what you see on social media, and I know I go across 4 pages and TikTok and everything else, it's all planned. And what you see on social media is just a highlight of my life. It's not my everyday life. I'm not really that busy. I'm really disciplined with structure, everything. There's a plan behind everything you see. Apart from on my makeup page, I'll be honest, that's a bit like, all right, I'm in Ibiza now, let me just post that. Oh, I'm cooking some, I don't know, something with my mum, let me just put that up. Because even things like that might inspire somebody to do something.
Yeah.
Like, I had a recipe that I wanted to share from an aunt who's no longer with us. Yeah. And I just wanted to share that. Had I not done that and had I not shared it on socials, her recipe now lives.
Yeah, it's true.
So no, I'm not always busy. Everything you see is carefully planned, and it's only little moments and highlights of my life. I'm not really that busy. Yesterday I watched 8 episodes I binge watched something on Prime. So yeah, I have loads of downtime.
Brilliant. Planning is the key.
Planning.
Okay, so we both loved books growing up, didn't we? And apples.
Yeah, and apples for some reason.
The crunchy ones.
Yeah.
What book or books impacted you the most? Not in the past, just even to now.
Even till now. Well, I did love Sweet Valley High, and I thought that's how my life was going to be. And I loved, from childhood, was the Enid Blyton books.
Oh my gosh.
Magic Faraway Tree and all, things like that. Like, they would literally transport you somewhere.
Where?
Now, books that I like to read, apart from books that are motivating, I like crime novels, and I love Indian authors. I really love Indian author books. I love a guy called Chetan Bhagat. There's actually a lady, I think she lives in Harrow. Her name's Saz Vora, and she writes books like Mills and Boon books. But
Really?
they're Indian books with Indian characters.
Love it.
And she is so good. So yeah, that's my guilty pleasure.
And what's your why? And I'm sure you've probably shared it with the world in the past, but is there
My
something you
why?
haven't shared?
For the podcast or just generally?
Generally.
My why would be, even if I can send out one message to somebody on any one of my platforms and they think, well, if Veena can do it and she's 50-something and she was born in, did the whole arranged marriage, got divorced, did this, did that, well, if she can do it, so can I. And I'm only a DM away. Ask me a question. Most of the time I'll answer. Sometimes I do have people who look after my DMs. So if you've not received an answer, DM me again.
Yeah.
My why would be, I'll show up for you.
Yeah. And you do. You are so that person. Yeah. I think for me is that I have been able to reach the ends of the earth with, whether it's my work or my words, you know, whatever.
Yeah, it's how do you want to be remembered?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like, we go to more funerals now than
I know.
anything else.
I
More
know.
not as many weddings, not as many births. It's more funerals, and it's like you listen to the words being said, and you're like, oh, I wonder what people would say about me. So I just want someone to say, yeah, she helped me, she touched me, or I didn't even know her, but she posted something, and that made me do this. Like, I know when I've hosted firewalks, people come up to me afterwards and say, do you know, because I did the firewalk with you, I then did this. And I then did this.
Because it's unlocked this confidence, this inner,
and that
a
makes
person
me
that was
feel,
sleeping or in a slumber. Yeah, absolutely.
Makes me feel so proud. And sometimes it makes me cry, and I'm thinking, all right, Veena, don't start crying. But sometimes I do, because it makes that person feel that she gets it.
Yeah, totally. In one of the sessions there is literally one session purely on your legacy. And we're not talking just financial legacy. We're talking about actually how do you want to leave your mark on this world. So yeah. So I'm going to fire the Disney princess one back to you. What Disney princess did you want to be growing up, and why?
Oh my God. I haven't thought about this one, Neelam. Who would I want to be?
Do you watch Disney?
Yeah, I did. Probably Cinderella as well, actually, because being one of the eldest cousins in a big family of girls, I was like, you're going to set the example, because then everybody's going to have an arranged marriage and they're all going to follow suit, and then like we're all going to be really happy, and you know, this family's like, the girls are so good. But no, they didn't follow suit.
Neelam goes that way. Veena goes that way.
Yeah. So it felt like Cinderella. It was like, you're going to do what you're told to do.
Yeah.
But one day, it doesn't have to be a man who comes and saves you.
It's true.
You can do it yourself.
Yeah, it's true. Brilliant. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you.